Hello, my lovely friends. Welcome back to Anitas Delights. My name is Anna, and today we're making soft pumpkin cookies. Just imagine like cakey, soft cookies that taste just like a pumpkin pie in the best possible way ever. They are so yummy and delicious. You are going to love them. So let me show you what you're going to need so we can go ahead and get started. But before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I post delicious recipes every week, and I would hate for you to miss out on all of these delicious recipes. And for the full written recipe, you can go to the link in the bio, which is my website, anitasdelightsrecipes.com, and you can find the full written recipe with all the instructions. Everything's gonna be there. So you're gonna need all-purpose flour, salt, baking soda, baking powder, granulated sugar, brown sugar, vanilla extract, pumpkin pie spice, and cinnamon, egg, unsalted butter at room temperature, and some pumpkin puree. Make sure it's 100% pumpkin puree and not the pumpkin puree mixed. We don't want that because it's too thin and it's already spiced and it won't work for this recipe. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. I have everything ready to go, and before we start, I just want to give my dry ingredients a quick mix. So that's already mixed in by the time we need it. There we go. Perfect. So we are going to set our dry ingredients aside, and now to a big mixing bowl, I am going to add my butter, my 2 types of sugar. Oh, it's a little stuck in here. And now we are going to mix this on medium until it's nice and fluffy and all the sugars nicely mixed through. Okay, so once you have something that looks like this, you are going to add in your egg, and we mix this in. Perfect. So after about a minute, you're gonna end up with something that looks like this. Now it's time to add in our pumpkin puree, a little splash of vanilla extract, and we mix this for another minute. As you mix, make sure you go ahead and scrape down the sides of your bowl with a rubber spatula, because you want to mix in all those unmixed bits that like to lay around on the side. So give that a good scrape, and we keep mixing it. Okay, this looks wonderful. Now we need to add in our dry ingredients, and I did forget to mix in my pumpkin spice and my cinnamon, so I'm gonna do that right now. So just mix it in just ever so slightly, like that. We add our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients, and now the trick to very soft and chewy cakey cookies is to not over mix your dry ingredients. So you want to mix this on low just until it comes together. Almost there. I want to go ahead and remember, scrape down the sides of my bowl just so we can incorporate all of the dry ingredients. Our cookie dough, it's done. It looks wonderful. It's very, as you can see, it's very, very cakey. Now, I am going to start preheating my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I am going to pop this in the fridge for about 10 minutes. That's usually how long my oven takes to preheat. After 10 minutes, I'm going to take it out and get a baking sheet lined with some parchment paper ready so we can start scooping them and we'll get to bake them. My oven is finally preheated, so now it's time to start scooping our cookies, and I have a baking sheet here. I'm gonna put them about 2 inches apart so they have plenty of space to grow, even though these are not gonna grow as much because they don't have a lot of eggs in them, so they're not gonna grow as much, but they are sure going to be delicious. Okie dokie. Last one, as you can see, I'm using a cookie scoop to scoop mine, but if you don't have one, 2 spoons will do the trick. Now these are going to go into my preheated oven for about 15 to 18 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like once they're done. The cookies are baking in the oven. Now we are going to make a glaze for them that are going to make them even more irresistible than they already are, and this comes together very quickly. You're gonna need powdered sugar, a good amount of it. Oops, that made a mess. Okay, so you're gonna need, like I said, powdered sugar. It went everywhere. And then we are going to mix it with a little bit of vanilla extract, just a little splash, and some milk. I'm gonna add a little bit now, mix and see if we need a little bit more. Our glaze is done, and you want something that looks like this. If you want yours a little more runny, you can add a little splash of milk. My pumpkin cookies just came out of the oven and they are perfection. Look how delicious they look. So I have them on a cooling rack on top of a baking sheet, because now we want to drizzle our beautiful glaze all over it, and I want to create as less of a mess as possible. So we have our glaze ready that we already made a little earlier, and these are slightly cool. They came out of the oven like about 2-3 minutes ago, so they're slightly cool, and it's the perfect time to drizzle in our glaze. So here we go. I like to do it with a spoon. You can do it with a piping bag if you want, but I just want to go just like this. Okay, there we go. I'm terrible at making things look pretty, but you want something that looks kind of like this, and we are going to break into it so you can see how soft and chewy they look. Look at that. They're soft, they're cakey. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that is try them. So let's bite right into them. It's like a perfect little soft, cakey pumpkin pie deliciousness in the in the shape of a cookie. These are simply a delight. I hope you guys enjoy the recipe. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.